which is the pricing research. So how many of you already go through all of the materials of pricing, and how difficult that you think it is for you? Do you think it's very difficult? Yeah, if you already go through and know what to do, type 1 in the group. If you go through but then you don't know, type 2. And then if you have no idea what is this, type 3. Oh, Scott, this is a retired MC, okay? But you are also a new MC, so you need to know this. You are the successor. I forgot myself. Okay, Cherry, this is your responsibility.
So sad.
Amazing. A lot of people are typing too. Cool. So if you already go through all of the materials, then it will be faster for me to downscale this. Amazing. So the reason why we need to define the price is because we need to define our target markets. Because as you can see, like if you think previously you haven't touched or tapped into the startups, then maybe this can be an opportunity. And also this is a space that we can actually review our pricing, because for most of the entities, we don't really do this kind of pricing review things. Like probably some entity did, but most of the entity, as far as I know, didn't. So pricing as a strategy is like very important for you. Like sometimes maybe your product doesn't even like, worthy to charge for that amount of money, but then because of brand, you can actually charge higher. Or sometimes because of your pricing, it's not making sense, it's not reasonable. So that's also why the rejection rate in your entity is super high. So this duration, why we are choosing current, like putting current as the key stakeholders to implement this, is also because you have your knowledge and experience about the how market is reacting for our current sales package. So before we go to all of the, like for example, consumer behaviors or the pains and gains, the one that we are usually doing, we think that it's better for you to actually focusing on the pricing now to see probably it can also be a can actually be a strategy for you to grow the product. So doing a good pricing research is very important. So it's actually give your successor a very clear bar for the future terms. And also, like if you wanna increasing the the pricing, then it's also can probably like a risk for you to actually needs to be handled, because during current situation, like it's very hard for you to actually increase the price. Like people will feel like, hey, we are also facing the difficulties, then how you are going to charge us higher money. But then if you can also lower down money, then probably this can also bring you some opportunities, because everyone is facing the challenges all over the world. And then probably other organizations are not lowering down the pricing, but we are lowering down, we are offering the cheaper price. So this can also be one of the reasons they are going to choose us. So this is something that interesting to think about, but then at the same time, it requires you a lot of efforts. So what is the final expected outcome for the research? It's simple, like we are actually thinking about, for example, for ICX, how you can actually think about the pricing for different subproduct based on subproduct. Because of course, like for IT and engineering should be having very different price for the people in BA or BD or marketing. And also the program for teaching is also very different, but we are actually currently charging the same. And then if we go deep into more, then we can also think about, is it necessary that we are going to divide our pricing based on like different cities? Then we will have different price for them. Like for example, maybe in China, like Shanghai, Shenzhen, Beijing, this kind of city, we can charge higher. But then for the other city in the like not that developed city, we can charge lower. So we can still attract some small business enterprises there. And for the OGX, the ideas for here would be, you need to be very careful based on the duration. So based on duration and program will be the minimum thing that you need to divide and consider in the final output. Yeah. So what is the timeline? So for the timeline for now is ideally is for you to process by the end of June. But again, considering, like as I mentioned before, considering all of the attraction timeline, then the end of June probably it will be a little bit risky for you to kick off your new peak. So if you already decide you are going to start to do attraction from next month or even next month from June, then your pricing research should be finished earlier. So you should always think about when you are going to officially kick off the new peak attraction. And for here, we are having the responsibilities. So I know there are some people maybe have confused about how am I going to synergize with finance, or what is the logic behind for us to choose the finance pricing responsible. So for here, first, if you want to base on OGX or ICX, like for example, Sri Lanka, you both have OGET and also IGT, then it's fine. You can have two. But then if you are going to do, like you decide we need to do this all together, then maybe putting a finance, MCVP finance, or the person who actually understanding pricing strategy more to taking charge all of this, then it will be easier for you to communicate. Yeah, so it's really highly depends on you. There is no best answer. It's just based on in your MC who is better, who has better knowledge in this, and who are is more suitable in coordinating everyone in here. Yeah, so that's all for the responsibility and also the timeline part and the expect output. So far, do you have any question on the pricing research? Okay, if no, then we are going to get to know the methodology and also the global tools. So in here, if you open this link, that you will see there are two tools. One is from GFB for you to assess is your pricing currently making sense or not. And this one is for you to actually go through all of the steps for you to coming out the pricing, and then this one is explain the details of this part. So ideally, if you read this one, you should be able to know how to do both of these two things. So if we talk about the steps, then actually we are here. So you should be able to do a macro analysis and decide the research methods and set your research segments. So we have two methods here. One is for Granger Method. So this one is actually aims to find the maximum price each respondent is willing to pay for a product. So which means that if you already have a range, like you already run GT for a long time, and then right now you are thinking, can we actually improve our pricing for example, IT engineer or for teaching, then this is the method that you can actually choose. And the second one is called Van Western Job Method. So this one is actually for you to find the optimal price point driven by the different respondents. So it's very important that if you are actually don't know, no idea about, for example, short-term duration, how am I going to settle the price, then you should follow this one. Yeah, so these are the two methods. And then how you can know about what should I choose based on this, like probably you also do not know my current price cannot cover my indirect cost, so I need to change. So this is why you need to have the GFB dashboard. And so let's take two entities as an example. So after you enter the GFB dashboard, you can actually find your entity. Okay, so I will take Indonesia and Sri Lanka. So for what is this? Wait, okay. So for here, as you can see, Indonesia, right? First you need to do is to check the price, whether it's correct or not, because probably the information is not updated. And the second, you need to check how about your product sustainability. And then after that, there will be actually to showing you that comparison with to the current price, it's higher or it's lower. So this will like organically tell you what is the suggestion from the system itself. Like probably you will see OGE. This means like you need to decrease your price. So you actually need to do a pricing research. And this one probably means that you can actually think about how you are going to increase. So as you can see, for this one to this one, like you can actually find the price range. So in the research, there is a tool ask you to defining the price point. So you can settle what is the different range and then start to do interview based on different range to ask the customers feedback, like if in this price, are you willing to buy it or not? And then, so if you are in this case, then you can choose the Granger method. And then if you are in the scenario 2, which is like Sri Lanka, so Sri Lanka, as you can see there, OGE is in level 0. And then also the price here is not very sustainable, like it's very low compared with the current price and also the best price. So then they need to offer like what is the maximum point of the price. Then this is the case that you should choose this method. Yeah. So if you want to know what is the details about each steps, how you are going to fill it or what, then you can review all of the tools and also the booklets there. They have very clear. So if you open the tool, then you will figure out. So if you are choosing this method, these are the 4 steps that you need to do. And if you are choosing this method, these are also the 4 steps that you need to do. Yeah. So just a recap. For you, if you are never run a short-term duration, then you should choose the Van Western job method. And then if you are like running GE before, or if you never run GE before, like you wanna find the new price points, or you wanna like ensure that you are going to have like a new, like figure out what is can be the new ideas, then you can also choose this one. And then I think I put wrong things. Or okay. So anyway, if you have the informations before, then you can choose this one to looking for the higher amounts. And then if the suggestion is asking you to drop or decrease or anything, and then you can choose this one. Yeah. So this is the suggestion for you if you are listing here, which means your pricing is, after we double check with the GFB model, then we think you should review your price again. And then if you're not seeing you here, it's okay, you can have a double check and review with your finance. So these are the call to actions for the pricing research, which is go through this and also a pricing guide, and also set pricing responsible and have a timeline, and then at least have the first draft of output before May 15th. Yeah. So these are the regional supports that we are having. So first we have a filling guideline, because we know even you read the explanation tool, it's a little bit hard for you to understand every steps that what are the exact things that you need to fill. So if you come to these booklets, then you will know for every details, like every sheet, what are the things that you need to fill and what does it mean. So you can just check this, and then also check the global materials that ESCI was downscaling. And then on the April of 2022nd, then we are probably to have a consultancy call with product and finance. So the topics are already settled, but it's just that the timing is not settled. And then from May 15th to 20th, we are going to offer the first round output feedback. So if you want to catch up the timeline, then you can do that. But then if you think, okay, I'm going to stay up with the June, the original timeline, then we will also give you the feedback on June. Yeah. And then the minimum deadline is like in July, we need to update on the platform. Yeah. So just a quick recap about the pricing research. First, we talk about why we need to do pricing research now, and also what is the expected outcome and timeline, and get to know the different methodologies for you to solve, and how you can decide with the GFB tool, and then also offer you a spreadsheet filling guideline. So if you have more questions, just feel free to approach me. Yeah. So that's all for my part. And then, yay! If you have any question, do you have any question for the pricing? Okay, amazing. So the last one about LC structure, I won't mention a lot. So first thing that you need to do again is to list out all of the LC states for now. And then also there are just some recommendations, but if you want to go through in details, it's better for you to bring the proposals to us in one-to-one. And then in the next commission call, we're putting more focus on the LC structure part, and also offer you the guidebook on how you are going to support the change of LC structure. Yeah. Okay, cool. So if you have any questions, noted down the question here, like you can submit there, and the ASCII and us will all reply there. So all of the informations will be documented, and we don't need to repeat every single things again and again. Cool. So I hope you enjoy the space with me. I know it's long and intense, but we are going to welcome Kate. Yay. So for the network engagement, yay. So welcome, Kate.